What's up, nerds? Who wants to learn the easiest way to swap out a vintage G.I. Joe O-ring? Stay tuned and find out. Whenever you have as many vintage G.I. Joes as I do, you learn quickly how to swap out an O-ring. What a lot of people don't know are there are two different sizes of O-rings that were used. This is a style 1. It was a 9/16 diameter from 1982 to 1984. Style 2 right here is a 5/8 diameter O-ring that was used from 85 to 92. So, like right here, this is Zap from the this is an 83 Zap actually because he's swivel arm. He would use the style 1 hot seat here. The Raider driver from 89 would use the style 2. First things first, I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to take longer than a minute because I have a camera between my arms, so I kind of, it's not as easy as it usually is. I can usually do this in about 2 minutes, maybe a little bit less to change a figure out. All right, so first things first, he has one little screw back there. So you're going to take your little screwdriver here. I got mine. It's a little cobalt screwdriver I've had for about 15 years. You unscrew it like so. The screw just popped right out, just like that. You don't want to lose them because they're not easy to replace. And he just kind of falls apart like so. You got the front piece of the chest. You've got his two arms. You've got his head. He has a ball jointed head right there for a swivel right there. Like Zap right here, his is actually flat. I'll take him apart too so you can see the difference between the two. That's a ball jointed head right there. His helmet is not going to come off. That is okay. I can do it with his helmet on there. And then, of course, the back and the broken O-ring right there. See, these things are crap now. Back in the 80s, they made them a lot better. I know a lot of people say that, but truly they do. I still have some vintage G.I. Joes that have the same O-rings they had back in the 80s. And the others with these newer O-rings, I've got to change them out maybe once every other year. It's really disheartening. And whenever you have over 500 G.I. Joes, it gets a little costly. I buy these O-rings actually at smalljoes.com. I'll put a link somewhere for you to check them out. I usually buy them in quantities of 500. But anyway, so you take your number 2 style O-ring, which is the 5/8 diameter O-ring. Here's where the fun begins. You hook it through the little T-bar right there between his legs. This is my trick. This is how I do it, so I don't break the crotch, because a broken crotch is a very common thing with these old G.I. Joe figures. I get the O-ring started like so, start putting it through there, and then I grab my handy-dandy little screwdriver, pop it through like so, and then ever so gently pull it in, and there we go. There we go. It's in there. No broken crotch. We are prepped and ready to go. Now, I've already tried recording this video a couple of times, and this is where I keep screwing up because I've got a camera between my arms. But you hook the O-ring right there through the back piece, like so. This is not rocket science. It's not like, I'm sure other people haven't come up with this method of fixing their Joes. You pop the arm in like that. It's where you need all the hands you can get. Pop the second arm on there, like so. I do the head last, especially on these round-necked figures. This is where it always kind of comes apart on me, right here, whenever I don't have... I think I'm so cool and I can do this in my sleep, but these freaking figures sometimes, man. Arm, camera between my arms, makes it a little difficult. Pop the chest on there like so. Bam. Snaps together like that. And then you're saying, but wait, he doesn't have a head. But you can kind of wiggle it in there, separating his chest ever so slightly. And I say that, and then boom. There you go. All right, hot seat is back together again. You drop your little screw back in there. Give it a few twists like that. And homeboy is ready to pilot the Raider once again. No broken pieces. Boom. All right. Let's do this with Zap so you can see the difference between the two. All right. So Zap, he doesn't need a new O-ring. He's actually got a relatively new one in there. But I'm going to go ahead and show you anyway. This is a 1983 swivel arm Zap. Go ahead and Same process. Unscrew it. Oh, he's so tight. It's just dirty, just wrong. There we go. Screws out. He comes apart. Exactly the same. Oh my God, he's not going to come apart. See, I say I'm going to do this with this figure, and then he is like, no, you can't do this to me. Don't kill me. There we go. All right. Same process. He does have one of the smaller O-rings in there, but you can't tell because it's so damn stretched out. It's been in there forever. I might not have ever changed this. This might be an original O-ring. So same deal. Back piece. Chest piece right there. Get it in front of the camera, Scott. Right there. Now the difference between these two is his neck doesn't bobble. He's got this flat, which means his head just turns side to side. Doesn't go up and down, doesn't rotate. Simply side to side, which makes this infinitely easier to put them back together because you just hook them through like so. Watch me break the O-ring as I do this. Flat arms also, they hook in just like would help if I put his correct arm in the right spot. I did not rehearse this, as you can obviously tell. I usually don't rehearse any of my videos. There we go. Like so. His head just kind of sits in there. Don't have to worry about it falling anywhere. His legs are really, really loose. Really, really loose. It's kind of funny. All right. Chest piece goes on there like so. And boom. A lot easier than the rotated round-necked figures. And of course, final touch. Screw in the back. Screw it in there nice and tight, but not too tight. Don't want to strip it. And there you go. Zap. Boom. Style 1, 9/16 diameter O-ring. You can get them at Lowe's if you want to spend way too much money, or you can get them at smalljoes.com. Style 2, a 5/8 O-ring right there. And that'll take care of just about everybody else in here. All of these guys. Okay, all these guys right here in this case. These guys are all style 1. Right there. All of these other dudes right here. These are all style 2. All style 2. So you're going to spend more money on style 2s than style 1s. Uh-oh. Got to fix Crocmaster. So there you go. All right. This has been how to change an O-ring on a vintage G.I. Joe figure. Thanks a lot, everybody. Tune in for another amazing tip and keep it nerdy. I swear to God, I know what I'm doing. Let me do this again because I screwed it up the first time. For the Buck Rogers figures, of course, Tweaky doesn't quite work out that way because the sticker covers up his screw hole. But so he's a little bit more difficult to change out. But Buck Rogers, Wilma, all of them from this line, as well as the Black Hole figures and Star Trek 3 figures that are all O-ring figures. Right there, screw hole, you remove that, you can change them out just like a G.I. Joe, and it's going to be the Style 1 9/16 inch diameter. So that's what you use for those. 9/16 Style 1. I did a video a second ago and posted it, and I said the wrong thing because sometimes, you know, my brain doesn't quite work right. So there you go. Okay, my friend Dead Again asked me about Zartan, and there is no easy answer for this one. Zartan, Xandar, and Zarana, all three were partially glued together because of the process that it took to do the color change on there. All right, so what I had to do the first time, you only have to do this the first time whenever you're swapping them out. I boiled them. I actually put them in some hot water for a little while. As you see, they don't quite fit together perfectly anymore. That's just a side effect of it. I boiled them, unscrewed them, and then I still had to use a bit of an X-Acto blade with the sharpest point I could find and just kind of try to break the seal all the way around the figure. And then once you do that, you can just swap it out like normal. It does take the larger scale, the 5/8 inch O-ring, and that's it. That'll do it.